Hello, children. How are you? I hope all of you are fine, fit, and healthy. This video is for class 10 CBSE students. I hope all of you are busy preparing for your exam. Very few days are left for your exam, and such a huge portion to cover in all the subjects. I can understand that you are going through a tough time. And that is why I have brought some solution of your problems. Children, I know that in this short time, it is not possible for you to go through each chapter line by line. So I have decided to make a video on every chapter where I will be discussing all the important questions and answers that may come in your exam. Class 10, you have two books, right? One is your first flight and the other is your footprints without feet. So I have decided that I am going to start with first flight. The first chapter is a letter to God. It is a nice chapter. You must have read it several times. Still, it is not possible for you to read all the chapters line by line before exam. So I have decided to discuss few short questions from here which are important for you to know and that may come in your exam. So let us quickly begin with the questions. Now see, here the first question goes, why does Lencho compare the raindrops with coins? Children, there is a question which has been coming in the exam. It is quite an important question. So why does Lencho compare the raindrops with coins? Children, very simple. Rain will bring good crop production, and when good amount of crops will be produced, it will bring money to the farmers. So Lencho compares the raindrops with coins. I hope I have been able to make you understand. Now the second question, what made Lencho's soul filled with sadness? We all know that Lencho is very excited when the rain comes because he thinks that the rain is going to bring good crops. There is going to be a good cultivation that year. But suddenly the weather changes and a strong wind begins to blow along with hailstorms. And this hailstorm worsens the condition of weather. For an hour, the rain continues and there is hailstone in the garden, hillside, cornfield, and in the entire valley. The field becomes white with hailstones. What was the result of it? There was not a leaf that remained on the tree. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone. And this made Lencho's heart filled with sadness. The third question, what was the only hope for Lencho? The only hope for Lencho was God's help. He had unflinching faith in God. He thought that only God, who is omnipresent and who can understand what lies within your soul, only that God will be able to help him out of this trouble. So Lencho's only hope was in God. The next question is, what did Lencho write in the letter to God? What did Lencho write in the letter to God? Lencho wrote that he wrote to God that his family will go hungry that year if God did not help them. He wrote that he needed 100 pesos in order to sow his field again and to live until the crop came. So, this was the letter that Lencho wrote to God. The next question is, how did the postman react to see Lencho's letter? We all know, children, that the postmaster first laughed. He was a fat, amiable man, and he broke out laughing when he heard about Lencho's letter. But after some time, he turned serious and he thought about Lencho's faith in God. And he wished to help Lencho so that his faith in God does not falter. So the next question is, why did the postmaster decide to answer the letter? The postmaster was surprised at Lencho's faith in God. He thought, how can a man have so much faith in God that he writes a letter to God? He was really impressed by Lencho's faith in God, and therefore he decided to answer the letter on behalf of God so that Lencho's faith in God does not falter. How much money was needed? According to Lencho's letter, Lencho needed 100 pesos. And how much was the postmaster able to arrange? The postmaster was able to arrange little more than half. Means 100 pesos was required, and he was able to arrange a little more than half, that is 70 pesos. So the next important question is, how did the postmaster arrange the money? The postmaster gave a part of his salary. He asked for money from his employees, and several friends of his were obliged to give something out of charity. So the next question is, how did Lencho react to get the money? How did Lencho react to get the money? Lencho was not a bit surprised when he got the money. He counted the money and he became a bit angry. He thought God could not have made such a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho the money that he had asked for. The next question is, what did Lencho write in the second letter to God? What will be the answer of this question? Yes, I know most of you know this. Lencho wrote that God, of the money he had asked for, he had got only 70 pesos. So he requests God to send the 30 pesos, but this time not to send it through mail, because he believed that the post office employees were a bunch of crooks, meaning cheaters. He thought that God might have sent 100 pesos. He suspected rather that the post office employees must have stolen the 30 pesos. So, these questions are some of the important questions that you need to prepare, children, from this chapter. In the long question, a question can come that give instances from the story which proves Lencho's faith in God. So here am I going to discuss with you some points. The first point is that you can write that Lencho had so much faith in God that he decided to write a letter to God when he was in trouble. He decided to ask for 100 pesos. He thought God was the only one who could help him out of the trouble. He had such confidence in God that he was sure enough that God would send him the money. And that is why, children, when he received the money from the post office, he was not a bit surprised to see God's letter because he was sure that God would send him the letter along with the money. Children, when he counted the money and he saw 30 pesos less, then also he did not doubt in God. He thought God could not have made a counting mistake. Rather, it was the post office employees. He suspected the post office employees to have stolen his money. He did not for once suspect God not to have sent the money. So, children, these are some important questions that you are going to prepare from this chapter. I hope my video helps you in preparing for your exam. Thank you, everyone.